how am I gonna get down from here? Oh, this should be quite the ride. I'd do that again, if it weren't so much work to get back up there. These look like Banuk markings. Is this the way to their territory?
The wilds beyond. They're an unkind land.
Seems you're a long way from anything. Where does this trail lead?
For me, it leads south. Away from the Banuk. Past the Grave Horde. Banukai, watch over me. This is the quickest way out of the cut, instead of going all the way through Oseram territory.
What sort of place is the cut?
It's on the edge of everywhere. The edge of Ban-Or, the edge of the mountains, the edge of other tribes' territories. It's suffered in the war with the Carja. But it suffered before that too. Life there is a test, to survive out on the edge.
Not exactly homey. I can see why you'd want to move on.
I was named an envoy to the Carja King's court. No one else wanted to do it. It's not so bad. I just recount the songs from Ban-Or, and the Carja draw their funny little glyphs. I tell them of the machine's growing anger, and the Carja King still offers aid even though he knows the Banuk will not accept it.
What kind of strange machines? And what kind of curse?
Smoke comes off the mountain like a funeral pyre all day and night. Machines tougher and crazier than anything in the south, I heard. It's enough to make me look forward to Meridian.
Well, thanks for the warning. I'm curious about these machines, though.
Then the warning rolled off you. I understand you adventurers are all alike. Good luck. Steam and smoke, geysers and funeral pyres, you'll see.
What are you doing, Aloy? This path leads to the cut. The Banuk have nothing to offer besides useless mysticism. The Eclipse won't stand idle while you waste time playing in the snow. Return to your task.
I was thinking, Rost used to tell me stories about the Banuk and their shamans, and how they thread blue cables through their skin. Kind of like someone else we know, huh? So maybe the real reason you want me to stay clear of the Banuk is to stay clear of your past.
It's the ancient past that concerns me, Aloy, not my own. Which is why you should stop prattling and get back to what matters. But as usual, you'll do as you wish.
Touchy.
Scorcher. Weakness to freeze, strong against fire. Blaze canister. Mine launcher. Heavy projectile weapon. Deploys explosive proximity mines. Power generator.
This one's a new predator. I can see the heat coming off it. No room. Okay, that's a welcome, I guess. All the winters coming at once.
You sure you'll be warm enough up here, Nora?
I've worked up a sweat from the climb.
You made it to the cut, Outlander.
Not that you'll stay long.
This is Song's Edge, biggest settlement in the cut.
These are dangerous lands, Outlander. Deadly, even.
Smoke rising from the mountain. And the village, too. What's it for?
In times like these, we must not forget the importance of ceremony. Ray's been gone a long time, but she will return. We must believe she will return.
I do not think that our hunter's blood is on Aratek's hands. He led them to a great challenge. That is all.
The young hunters have learned the lesson from Thunderstrom. Sometimes, loss is the price of survival.
Songs of the lost echo eternal.
You died on Thunderstrom. Your songs will not be forgotten.
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
In times like these, we must not forget the importance of ceremony. How are we to trust the chief after so many died under his command?
So many dead. At least we still have Aratak to guide us.
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrand, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead, but not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight and die as well as they did?
My courage! My spear!
Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies. Our prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machines.
Machines that wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Ourea, spouting on about spirits and demons up on Thunder's drum. So they march their Werik up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. I don't know what Ourea found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Ourea's not around to explain. She took off. I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again. Everything's a test to them, a hardship to endure, a challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
Yeah, a land cold enough to crack teeth, filled with wild animals. You'd think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid. Don't believe me, I've tried to convince them, but a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Werik chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish.
What are these Weriks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Eh, not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Weriks come and go. Some last as long as Melon. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Weriks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Werik has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
Aye. Back home, some fur traders told me about this steel-forsaken heap of tents. Good location. Ripe for change. When he and Ourea came to town with their Werik, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. Know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. A great prophet is coming, they said. I heard prophet. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map.
We?
Me and my daughter. My assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No, independent. Look for her at Long Notch. the easternmost Banuk camp.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin? Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Araya's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what it's like, she just gave me a dirty look.
I want to know more about this Daemon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then you need to find Araya. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rafts. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrand.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if Aratak can tell me more about Araya or Thunder's drum.
Some do with the frozen
Might be worth a shot.
It's distasteful.
We've never faced anything like the machines that guard Thunder's drum.
None can remember a time when the Tallneck wasn't trapped in ice.
I do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be done. Do you understand?
My chieftain.
Good.
Aratak?
Outlander. I suppose you wish to speak?
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I have put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? It would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
Did your Warwick come from this place?
No, we rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the Daemon. But I was born here and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
There are other Warracks in Song's Edge too?
Yes, the village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last until the Karja seek war again.
One more thing, Aratak.
I wonder, will the mountains answer all your questions?
This Daemon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
Oraya knows about this Daemon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. I prefer deeds to words.
Right.
To your survival.
Do we stand around and talk, or do we have responsibilities to attend to?
I mean, on top of all we've endured, we find ourselves beset by bandits.
Deep den, silenced by rising waters.
Shall we all die beneath the claws of these new machines just to satisfy Aratak's crusade?
I don't see what's... wrong with the traditional paint. So Cooley overcomplicates things.
Flood saw to that. One day, the stone of the din was dry. The next, the flood came.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood?
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Lao Lai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, until it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the old ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. During the war, my father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Karja. I'm the drummer now. But our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous basin. A wondrous edifice the old ones used to carry music far and wide. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? Or remembering?
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent?
Banur goes where the great Werax go. Perhaps one day I'll do it.
Deep Din. Silence by rising waters.
Good hunting today. We reunited many machine spirits with the blue light.
No more music. Push them. Flood saw to that.
Leave wood on fire.
You look well.
Chill almost feels like sunburn.
Outlander, wait a moment.
Mix your yellow and your blue. That's how you get green.
That weapon of yours, Outlander, that spear. I can see the blue light upon it.
You're not the first to take an interest in it. I've made it myself.
Your own design. Yet you are not a shaman.
No. More of a tinker?
A tinker does not understand the spark in the metal, the song in the metal like this. But it could be improved upon, modified, with the help of the old ones. Far north of here, there is a cave, a shaft in the snow. Within it is a nest of metal birds. Find a bird that hasn't been stripped by shamans past. Look for a rail inside it, the length of your spear. That's all I can tell you.
Get a rail from some metal birds in a cave. Sounds perfectly normal.
A secret shared is kept beneath ice.
Shot at spears, then act surprised when the hunt eludes them.
This old underestimate. We will not bow to madness.
Still, I can't afford them, can we?
Any news from the hunt?
The herd isn't roaming far from the camp.
Keep them together this time.
Then we wait. But I bet we'll see a stray.
All right, I'll keep watch tonight.
Outlanders. Karja Outlanders.
She said her lover was killed by machines. I'm sure it's a lie, but with so many dying recently. Good luck.
May the sun grant you a portion of its wisdom, young huntress.
What brings you Karja so far from your home?
There's good machine hunting in the cut. Danger, too. Some have a taste for both, and they pay people like me well to guide them. We've had a bad run this time, even after I brought this priest along to read the signs.
I did say the sun's light was cast quite red the night of the...
Not your concern, though,
Give him a rap on the
Huntress.
knuckles and let him go.
You're a long way from home, too.
The old man
Watch your back out there.
sipping a brew at work. Yelled so loud, instead of deadly
And Oseram tries to kill the Sun King, and Anora saves his life. I would.
Oseram that tried to kill our Sun King?
Bergren said Araya's apprentice went north of the river. Hopefully not too far. That must be Naltuk, looking out at that tower. It looks like it's sending out a pulse or signal. Naltuk?
Who are you? How did you find me?
Bergrand told me you'd be out here.
He's persistent. I've told that Oseram 1,000 times. I don't need to buy anything.
And I'm not selling. I just need to find Ourea.
Well, you won't. She's gone where only shamans can tread. She seeks guidance from the voice in the blue light. That is her task. And the task she gave me is to observe the daemon's work. To stop it spreading, if I can. But what can I do about these towers? In only a few weeks, they've sprouted throughout the cut. The daemon's energy pulses from them. Rallies the machines, even repairs them.
Aratak said this daemon was frenzying machines.
Look there. Those with the purple markings. They belong to the daemon. They're stronger, more dangerous.
I've seen something like this before. A corruption. But it wasn't from your daemon.
You have? Well, then you know more than I do. These towers, were they part of your corruption?
No. Those are new to me too.
Like I said, they empower the daemon's machines. They must be stopped.
Will you tell me where Ourea went?
You ask a lot of questions.
Only when I'm not getting the answers I need.
There's but one voice Ourea wants to hear right now, and it isn't yours. I'm sorry.
All right. You want to stop the spread of the daemon's work? I know how to get started. With my bow and spear.
Outlander, wait. Won't you tell me your name?
Aloy.
Good. If you fall to the daemon's machines, at least I can properly recount your efforts to Ourea.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. But I won't fall. And when I'm done, you're gonna tell me where she is. Interesting. Maybe I could override it.
Control tower. Strong against everything. Cooling element. Destroy to remove the ability to repair hostile machines. Override point. Overriding removes repair and resistance abilities, stuns hostile machines.
Kill the machines around the tower. I might be able to destroy it. Override it. Tower won't stop. I could override it. Okay then, let's see if this thing can work for me. repair some of our machines, but it can be overridden.
You are quite the warrior.
Seems I can take care of the machines and towers. The Daemon's next.
You claimed its power for yourself somehow. Perhaps Ourea should meet you after all. What she truly seeks is hope. After what I just saw, you could show her that. She's in retreat beyond those mountains, the Ice Rasps. You'll have to walk the Shaman's path to get there.
Bergren told me you're Ourea's apprentice.
In her absence, I serve the chieftain and his Werak as an advisor, a scout, a speaker for the Blue Light.
A lot of responsibilities.
I don't know if I can live up to Ourea's example, but I have to try. I owe her that much. She took a chance on me. An aspiring shaman from the edge of the world. No one else would.
Were you with Ourea when they attacked the mountain?
I wish I had been, even with all that happened. I'm no warrior, though, so she bid me wait. When Ourea and the chieftain returned, I saw them argue bitterly. I don't know what about exactly. Then she came to me, gave me my task, and left us.
How do I cross this shaman's path?
Go to the Ice Rasps. Then follow the markers through the ice caves and the waterfalls, and make the climb to the shrine. But be careful. The path is meant to be an ordeal, the final trial of a young shaman's training.
And I'll find Ourea at the end of it?
No. She goes further up. Somewhere inside the mountain. You'll know you've reached the end when you come to a shrine. A great machine covered in blue gleam. A crystal that builds on the bodies of machines in the oldest ice. We Banuk believe it's the stuff of the blue light, frozen as it escapes their shells. You might be more interested that merchants will trade well for it. Shamans who complete the path take a piece of it as reward. If you make it that far, you should too. You'll have earned it. If you see her, would you tell her, I have faith she will hear the voice again.
All right, I guess I'm off to the Ice Rasps to find this shaman's path. Never know when I might need these.